Oh, Joshy, we are back for another edition of Team Drop Thursdays. Firstly, mate, how are you? How was the 1 point loss against the Mighty Pies on Monday?
It was a good game to watch. I was looking forward to that game all day. Obviously, we only had the one game on that public holiday, and I was just hoping for a good game. And geez, did we get it? But unfortunately, the wrong team won. And yeah, good to be back. We were planning to go on Tuesday night, but a few things happened. But yeah, back and ready to watch some of these teams go live.
Absolutely, mate. Is there any players that you desperately need to be named this evening?
I think I'm actually pretty good this week. Hopefully, like Bailey Smith comes back. I was pretty happy to see Jack McRae come back last night. Be named last night because I got him. I still held him through. I think a lot of people will be hoping Horn Francis is back, which that's pretty much been confirmed.
Yep.
Other than that, pretty much all my rookies are either dead, injured, or on the bye. So I know a lot of people are getting Huswaite back this week. I didn't hold him, so I won't be getting him onto the
No.
field. But other than that, nothing that really stands out besides hoping that Bailey Smith comes back, I guess.
Yeah, no, and surely he will be. Although, like, I reckon he's 100% going to be named. And I think we all know here who is going to be omitted for him. I'm his number one fan. But
Yeah.
I don't know, probably laid out on the cards maybe if he's not feeling 110. You know what he's like. He seems to do whatever he wants. But I know that there is one premium that you've been holding on to for a while, and that's Jack McRae. We're going to get straight into it. In for the
Yeah.
Saints, Jack McRae, Liam Stocker. Out is Philippou. He can't catch a break. And Hugh Boxall. Do you still own the box, mate?
I do, but again, half my bench is dead. I actually made a tweet during the week. It's gonna actually be exciting owning Jack McRae for once this season because
Mm-hmm.
alongside Bailey Smith, Caleb Daniel, he was the most boring own because every man and his dog had him, and if you didn't captain him, then it was really just a spot that everyone had. But
Yep.
at the moment, he's only in 23% of the top 1% and 30% of the top 5%. So a fair chunk of coaches didn't hold him, and yeah, as I said, it's going to be exciting having him this round.
I definitely didn't hold him. I'm actually hoping I can pick him up over Horn Francis to complete my forward line in probably 2 weeks, looking at the numbers. I think you'd be,
Mm.
if you're set on McRae, you grab him next week. If you're set on Horn Francis, you grab him in 2 weeks. For the Dogs, we have in Sammy Darcy, Cooper Hines might get a full game. James Harms, oh, doesn't that name give you PTSD? Oh, if you don't know the story
Yes,
behind that, just DM me or Joshy and we'll give you the lowdown after we're done. And Ryan Gardner comes in. We'll have a look at the lineups though. On the bench, like surely, Hines or Dolan's probably the sub. And I reckon Carroll's going to be the sub for the Saints, isn't he?
I reckon you're pretty bang on, to be honest. Yeah,
Now,
yeah, it could be McNeil for the Dogs as well, but yeah, I reckon that's pretty spot on.
Libba owners, what did you make of the news that he's going to be spending more time across halfback? Good or bad?
Well, I don't have him, but yeah, the half back role can be as fruitful as the inside mid role. But unfortunately, I don't think it's the good half back role you want, where it's the designated kicker and the ball's going through them. From what I saw, it looks like he was just starting at the back line and then pushing into stoppages. So I didn't think it was that bad. Is it a down game? I'm not too sure. I think you have to hold him for 1 week though, and just get another look at it. I think it might be a bit too reactive if you trade him off that one poor score, especially with how good he's been this year.
I agree, mate. I agree. I mean, it's fantastic for his career to prolong it a little bit longer just because he's so crash and bash. But Supercoach wise, I don't have any statistics in front of me, but I don't think Libba is that finesse start the play off of halfback type operator. And surely, if you own Marcus Bontempelli, he is a lock for the VC. Yes.
Yeah, I would if I had Bontempelli, I'd VC him. You just got to look at the last game he played. which was only like 50 days or something ago against against Saints in his first game back from injury, mind you, as well. He's got 150 something. So yeah, very scary non-owned for me this week. Yeah, I'd VC him definitely tonight.
I mean, just talking about like hit last week, if his name wasn't M. Bontempelli, honestly, that stat line is a 70.
Yes, yeah. I think with the bot, he gets a lot of points from like stuff you don't see, like contested knock-ons and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure you back in the old hub days had Jaden Popowski on and just got a little bit of a scoring
Yes.
breakdown, and so he was able to kind of explain these little factors in scoring that we might not be able to see on the raw stats. But you're probably right. Most players aren't scoring those numbers, and I think it's actually alongside a 99 a few weeks ago from the Bont. So I think he's about to pop off with the Saints in Richmond. But other than his first few games, he's been a little bit quiet compared to what we're usually used to.
I know. Yeah, really hoping for a huge game from him. Is there anything in this lineup that makes you think something interesting could be happening? I mean, Keeler's been
Yeah,
named in the back pocket, but like surely,
yeah.
surely, Windhager goes to Ed Richards, doesn't he?
Um, After what Bont did to them in his return game, I think Windhager goes to Bont, to be honest. But I could be wrong.
Is he big enough to be able to go with Bond?
I think I'll do a very quick search here, but I'm pretty sure Windhager's a decent size. Um, I mean, Bedford's tagged one, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Windhager is 185 centimeters. So it's a little bit shorter than
Yeah.
Bond, but I feel like he could go with him.
Well, I hope he doesn't because he's my VC. And we'll
Yeah.
move on. The Hawks in Nick Watson, in Henry Huswaite for owners. But you'd assume that that's just a 1 week hurrah because Werple is out injured for, I think it was reported for 1 week. Finn McGuinness is out. You know what I love seeing here? And I don't love many things about Adelaide. I'm not a huge fan of the place. Cricket's pretty good there. But I love not seeing out El Pedler. That's fantastic.
Oh wow! Yeah, when you asked me
Yeah.
before this, who am I hoping comes back or who I hope don't get dropped, I thought he was a shoo-in to get dropped. To be
So
honest,
did I. So did I.
I'm shocked. I didn't even expect to have him as a warm body this week. But yeah, very interesting to see you show the lineup, see if he's on the bench, if he's going to be sub. I think he probably will be, but still, that's decent that he's in
Yeah.
the 23. Yeah, so
Oh, no. Oh, that name right there, Jane Newcomb. I cannot wait to trade him next week. My God.
yeah,
That
he's on the bench. So it's going to be him or Brody Smith again. Last week it was
yeah.
Brody Smith, but oh, I don't
Surely
know.
Pedler has to be sub, doesn't he? He's got to be.
Usually after a performance like that, I would agree, but at the same time, he provided something that a lot of their forwards don't, and there was tackling pressure. Like, I think he had like 6 or 7 tackles. In his first couple of games, he had a shit ton of tackles as well. So I think given that Brody Smith is a defender or a wing, I think maybe he could still be the sub, whereas Pedler's just your forward. He's a lot less versatile, but it's genuinely going to be a flip of the coin between the two. I think we should just be happy that Pedler's still in the 23 after last week.
I mean, Pedler had 3 touches, mate, in a full game.
Yeah, kicked a goal, 3 touches, but how many tackles do you have? Because it's pretty
6.
important these days. Yeah, so it's still very important to get those tackles. Um, but I'm just going to have a quick look here. Pedler's break even is 9, so like even if he gets on the field a sub, if you can get that last little bit of cash gen out of him, and he gets to 200k. It's still going to be not ideal, but you're able to cash him in more than half the rookies we've had this season.
You know what I like also? And I don't like much. Geez, I'm a very hateful individual. I don't like many things about Hawthorn, but I like that Sammy Butler is named on field,
Oh, so good,
which he's
unbelievable.
going to be a
Yeah,
very good rookie next week because
yeah.
I think he's probably holding, well, Huswaite's clearly ahead of Mackenzie because he's come in
Which
for him.
is shocked me, to be honest, because Mackenzie started
Mm,
the season so well. But yeah, it's quite funny that he's now leapfrogged Mackenzie. But yeah,
yeah.
I think what helps Butler is that Hustwaite lost his spot because he was one dimensional. He could only play midfield. Whereas Butler can play small forward role as well as the midfield. And I think his role last week was playing forward, and I think he had 33% CBA. So it's a 70-30 split, but I think it's going to be enough for him to be a decent rookie.
I hope so, mate. We'll be picking him up next week, won't we?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I'm getting him in
Yep.
for sure.
Next game, mate, we have Lions and Giants. Oh, here we go. Sammy Day is in. Brandon Starcevic is in. Ty Gallup is omitted. And Devin Robinson. We also have I was going to say Finn McGuinness. Jesus Christ. Isn't that a stain on this man? Finn Callahan and Harry Rouston are in. Jacob Weir and Toby McMullen are out. Zorko is in the back pocket where he's always going to be. Bedford's going to clamp Neil, isn't he? Like, let's be honest here.
He is, and we'll get into it later when we go to our trades, but it's pretty much half the reason why I'm heavily considering just making 4K and getting Butters in for Neil, because
Yep.
there's some pretty big tag targets that he's facing up in the next 4 weeks.
Rouston would probably be the sub for GWS, so he's another. Well, his cash gen's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, is this the game that Lohman or Ashcroft is the sub?
Looking at that, it could be the game that Ashcroft is the sub. To be honest, Lohman, I think, had one of his better games the last couple of weeks. He had a horror start to the season with his injuries, but maybe this is a game that they just make Ashcroft sub. It could be Sam Day, but not many teams do opt for
Really?
the tall as the sub.
Yeah.
I know Brisbane have had Darcy Fort as a sub before, so they're not
Yeah.
exactly opposed to doing it, but like we've seen this year that it's not always from the bench. Most likely it is. But
Yep.
looking at that bench, I think it's narrowed down to the three that we've mentioned.
I agree. I agree. There's not much relevance here, is there? I mean, Whitfield's been named at
Yeah.
half back, but surely, like, well,
Well,
if
that's why
there's
Callahan back is massive. Callahan back just means that that Whitfield can go
Hmm,
down back. He doesn't have to play those like more high half forward midfield minutes. Another thing it also does as well, you're probably not expecting it against Brisbane, maybe besides of Jared Berry, but the other thing is that Callahan is that number one tag target again now. So Tom Green owners can probably not expect tags in the future. So I think that's two big reasons why Callahan back's good for super coaches.
Toby Green after being subbed out's back in.
Yeah,
Well,
bad
I guess
Corky.
starting lineup. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, bad Corky. And again, like that's massive for Whitfield. If Toby Green's laid out, then I think Whitfield's role is bad for another week. But at the moment, Callahan back, Toby Green named. I think Whitfield's going to get his role back. And for a couple of guys like us that don't have him, he's going to get cheap after his round 16 bye. But we're probably going to
Oh,
have to see a big couple of scores before we get him.
yeah. There's a world where I don't have Whitfield in my team just because I've got no
Mm,
trades left. Wouldn't that
yeah.
just burn a hole in your heart? Yeah. Let's move on. Honestly, nothing. Here we go. Surely Bailey Smith is in.
Well, I can
Surely.
see his head.
Oh, you can see it above more. Oh, here we go. Where? Oh
Hmm.
God. What? No, out Durham. Oh, just quietly. Durham's lucky to get 2 weeks. It was such a dog bum. Out my man
Yeah.
Klossy. That's a shame, but we get Bailey Smith back in. Archer May, Lachlan Blackiston for a debut. What I want to see, I want to get your opinion, my man Archer Day Wicks. Is he going to be the sub? What's going on there?
Can I have a look at the lineups just to
No,
see? But off gut
no.
feel, I think he will be. He was last week. Um, it looks like we're switching up the forward line a little bit, bringing in the extra tall in Archer May, which I think still pushes out, well, especially a Hobbs. Hobbs has been playing that small forward role
Yeah.
with a little bit of midfield. So I think we are going a bit taller, but I think Daywicks is still going to be a sub just because he can
Of
play a
course.
bit of midfield and he can play forward as well.
Well, I
Closey's a
hate it.
really annoying one though, because I was actually genuinely looking at him because he was 120k mid forward DPP. There's not many good forward rookies out there at the moment. Coming off a 71, had heaps of tackles, but unfortunately he's out again, which is disappointing.
Oi, how does Kako still get games?
I
Genuinely.
Well, look at our team. Like, look how young we are, and this is why, as an Essendon supporter, we're losing games. But the fact that I think we lost by like under 2 goals to Lions. We lost by like 10 points to Carlton. We've been really good for our team. Like we've debuted, I think it's 10 or 11 players this year. You look at the field right there, and you've got Archie Roberts, you've got Johnson, Clark, Llewell, you've got Nate Caddy, May, Kako, all on that, and they're all 21 years or younger with not much experience at all. And I think that's why we keep playing Kako, just to get games into him. Because at the end of the day, he is talented. You can see it. It's just such a hard role to play, the small forward role, and you need to get games into those players. So I think that's why he keeps getting games.
Why? I have another question for you. Let's just go. Like, we know you've got to get it on Johnson. Like, he's the best bubble buyer this week. Clark's going to make more cash. We know that. Oh, yeah, it's 100% Daywicks is going to be the sub. That's so
Yeah.
annoying. That's
And this
so
Blackiston guy, I think he's 206 centimeters. One of the best ruckmen in the waffle. He's like 26 years old. Goldstein holds his spot, but I think Blackiston's actually going to play defense. He's only played one VFL game for us, and to be honest, it shocked me when I heard he played defense and was second ruck to Vigo Vicentini in our VFL side. But he had 11 intercepts for the game and was apparently one of the best on ground for us. So one to definitely watch with Ridley and Reed still, I think, still 4 to 5 weeks away. So if he's able to, as a 26-year-old, play at half back as a key defender and also second ruck, he could be a pretty good option in the next couple of weeks.
So we're 100% saying that Daywicks is the sub, yes?
I think so, yeah. And looking at the Geelong bench, I reckon it's either Jack Martin or Duncan.
Yeah.
With Mullen pretty much a shoe-in to tag Merritt, I reckon.
I want to ask you this. Why is the second best midfielder at your club in Zach Merritt playing behind the ball?
To avoid a tag. That is literally all it is. It's to avoid a tag. And I think there's
Who was
also an
meant to
element.
tag him last week, though?
What was that, sorry? Finn
Oh,
Connor.
sorry. No, he had Chincotta. I was thinking about the Brisbane game. Apologies.
Oh, the Brisbane game, I think that it could have been a Jared Berry, but I think there's also another element that supercoaches pretty much don't really think of most of the time. And I think it's just the fact that all the leadership we've lost down there. We've lost Redley, we've lost Mackay, we've lost Redmond as well. I think they've put Zach Merritt down there just as a leader, almost like that Luke Hodge, Grant Birchall of the Brisbane days, where you can have all these young kids. Like, look at our flankers. You've got Johnson and Clark. You've got Pryor in the middle of them that's played about 20 games in his career. You need to have a more experienced head down there. And I think that's why we moved Merritt down there. So it's obviously not ideal for people that have him, but I think they're the two main reasons. But I think another factor as well is how good Nick Mudd has been as a midfielder in the last few weeks.
Yeah. No, just as another layer onto why I hate that club. Honestly, just ruined the only asset that I liked from him. Surely Sardis is an emergency. Not even an emergency. Geez, he's going to look good in the pie stripes next year, I tell you what.
Yeah.
We are locking in Daywicks for the sub. You're happy to say that?
Yeah, I'd be shocked if it isn't.
Well, I hope you're shocked, but yeah, I think you will be. Next game, we've got North and Freo. Now, this is due. Oh, what?
No. Refresh.
Don't be doing this crap to me, I swear to God.
No.
Were you here for that? No. I hosted
that was
SuperCoach
tonight.
Pro on here. Dead set. Oh, my goodness. It
Oh,
was
we
an
got it.
absolute disaster. We sat here for about 40 minutes trying to get through it. Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's terrible. Freo was so boring. There's been no change for them, but Callan Dawson's in for the injured Charlie Comben. And that's about it. Like, I'm not buying this half forward McKercher role. That's where he was last week. I'm not having that.
Mm.
Sheasel on the ball. Yep, wonderful. Is there any relevance in this at all?
No, but
Like,
the one thing I'll say is that I am so filthy that Erasmus was named that as the sub that Thursday night against the Pies, where everyone was thinking of getting him. Because besides that game, since then he's actually been a pretty bloody good cash cow, and he won't be subbed this week either, and he's scoring well. So anyone that's got him, congratulations. He's still holding his spot. Looking at the Freo bench, I don't think he'll be subbed, but other than that, this game is so boring in terms of ins and outs.
oh, spot on. Spot on. Like, yeah, that's just who's going to be like, does it even matter who's the sub here?
I think it's
Honestly,
Banfield, but it does matter because there is going to be a fair few people who did end up getting Erasmus. I know one of our good mates in one of our chats got Erasmus, and he's been rubbing it in ever
yes,
since.
he
But
was gloating about it, wasn't he?
yes, I still can't believe that he got Erasmus, even though he was named subbed and it's worked out for him. But that's the type of season we're having with rookies, and to
Yeah.
be honest, it's pissed me off. But yeah, looking at that, I think Erasmus has played that well that he's not going to be sub anymore. I could be wrong, but I think it's going to be either Warner or Banfield.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. What about for North?
Oh, for North, probably looking at Hanson Jr.
Yeah,
I
I
think.
agree. Yep, I
Yeah,
agree. 100%. Can we please move on? Like, just to finish off,
yeah, uh, uh,
Colby McKercher at
yeah.
half forward, I'm not buying that at all. No way.
Yeah, I'm not getting him. I can't really work out a way that would improve my team by getting him.
Mhm.
I'd love to be able to put him down to Matt Roberts down to him and upgrade someone, but I just can't afford it.
Yep.
Even if I was to do 3 trades, but I do think it's a decent option. And yeah, I think what North have been saying the last, not just last week, but also the last couple of weeks of locking players into positions and how well he went against West Coast, I think he's a pretty good option.
I'm not going to go on about it now, but I think he is like behind Butters, the number one trade in Target that isn't someone on the bubble this week. Like I am huge on Colby McKercher this week. And if you want any kind of reasoning, I'm not going to say it now, but literally look at what I tweeted today. Don't believe
Yeah.
anything else besides the numbers. That's literally it.
Well, I reckon we'll get a question or two about him, so you might have to elaborate in about 10 or so minutes.
Oh, yeah, good point. But remember, we're only on for an hour because that's all DR pays us for. Sunday, we have Port versus Melbourne. Manny Liddy is going to debut. Logan Evans is in. Jordan Sweet is in. And the horny man is back. Jeremy Finlayson is out. In for Melbourne is Jack Viney, Tom McDonald, and Harry Sharp. Very surprised that Lindsay has still been named on field. That's interesting. Horn Francis, obviously named on field. I just, again, like I'm trading Moraes, but is there any interest in this game at all, mate?
I know it's extended bench, but I really like the fact that Jackson's been named. He's someone I've been looking at, although I'm a little bit worried that he could be the sub. And mind you, if you scroll back up to the field, that 99K mid-season rookie's been named on field, which I know he's already been announced as debuting, but is
Yeah.
he? Wait, hang on. Go back to the bench. I didn't even see his name. Is he there?
No, he's on field.
Where is he though? I don't even. I can't see
What?
him.
He's got to be.
Where is he?
Have they not? Manny Liddy. That is a slop name.
Where is
Where
he
is
though?
it? He's not.
Oh, I am very confused. It's not anywhere to be seen. But
He hasn't
it's
been
been.
named.
I think he has because they've listed him as an in, like, and SA reporters on Twitter have said that he's pretty much a lock to debut. But I was
He's
about
not
to say
even.
that he's been named on field, but he's not even named in the squad at all. I don't know what's happened there, to be honest. No idea.
Who's it? Finlayson.
Is Finlayson named? That might be it. If you go to the bench and Finlayson's there, I reckon that's what they stuffed up. Yeah, he's not
No,
even there, so I have no idea what they've done there.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Are we just missing it?
Oh, someone just commented he's after Sin on the app, so I think the website's just cooked it a little bit.
Oh, of course. It's
Yeah.
after
So
seeing.
yeah, he's named on the bench, so I'm
What's going
pretty
on?
sure he is still
Oh,
going to
there we
be.
go.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah, there we go.
that's interesting. No. Does Clary do a run with Rosie or Butters?
Well, I think Clary's tagging days are done. I think they got Ed Langdon now. He was
Yeah,
really
he was
impressive
good.
against Dacos. I
He
know he
was.
only had like 3 disposals, whatever it was, but he was really effective. Like Dacos, I know he started to get going as the game went on, but I mean, if Melbourne were to tag Dacos, you're probably looking at what he did in round 24, where he scored 180 points and just
Mm.
dominated. So I think he did a decent job, and it was probably a big reason why the D's got so close to beating you. So I think Langdon. I know Zach Butters' game is a lot more contested to Nick Dacos, but they're a very similar size. So I think they might look at Butters and go relatively same height as Dacos. Maybe we'll run Langdon on him. But I think the thing that kind of helps Butters when he cops a tag is that he's just got that more contested nature. He tackles a bit more than Dacos as well. So I don't think Rosie's going to cop a tag. I don't think Olive's going to tag. I think it's going to be Langdon to Butters, but not too sure the extent of what he can restrict him to.
Well, we know that Manny Liddy is confirmed for a debut, so there's one spot.
Mm-hmm.
Sin plays, doesn't he?
Think so. I think so.
Boak, I don't know how is still getting a game, but he is based on his name. Like yeah.
Yeah.
I
We
think
can
he's
rule
pretty.
out Sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can
Honestly,
we though? Because I remember back in the day, the best way that Ken always combated Gorn was he would double team with Lysett and Ryder. So is he going to try that with Sweet and Vizentini? I'm not too sure. It's obviously not your Lysett and Ryder, but he has done that tactic before. But I think he can pretty safely rule out Sweet. Looking at this bench.
so that means that two of Hugh Jackson, Moraes, Evans, and Mead play.
Yeah, I think you can pretty much cross Hugh Jackson off your list. I know he's on the
What
bubble,
about
but
Moraes as well? He's basically cooked, isn't he?
I think so. I think even if he was named, he's going to be sub. He's in that pretty
Yep,
awkward spot at the moment.
I agree. Is there anything else we need to talk about with this?
Just JHF back, which we all knew, but other than that, doesn't really look like anything. There's still some Pesentini owners out there, so I guess the fact that he's been named on field's nice as well. But yeah,
Mm.
nothing really more to add.
Perfect. And the last game we have it doesn't even matter because we just know that Clay Hall's going to be on the extended bench. Like it's not even
Yeah,
an in.
and same with
Not,
Bailey Williams as well.
yep. Yep. No, agreed. Like they're just there to fill the numbers up. Tommy McCarthy's been primed for a debut, so he's definitely in. Noah Long is in, but Tom Cole is out. In Durden, Boyd, and Lewis Young for Carlton. Now, Carroll is on the interchange, of course. What, like, this is, yeah, interesting. Interesting. I mean, if people still own a Hewitt, Elijah of the Elijah variety, he's been fantastic. Doherty's named at half back. Oh, just yeah,
So
this is
the one thing
interesting.
I'll ask you is, we already know Tom McCarthy's been announced by West Coast. He's
Yep.
named on the bench. So is Bo Allen, who McQualter's already confirmed that he'll be playing a full game this week. Are they going
Yep.
to make Tom McCarthy a debut sub? Because that's the one thing I'm fearing. And playing the last game of the round, it's a pretty awkward spot to get him in. We've
No,
already lost
no,
Closey.
you
Yeah.
get the rookie that's on the bubble, and that's your mate Johnson. Simple.
Yes, but someone like me that went early on Johnson, and by the way, got that very delicious 84 instead of Luke Pedler's
Yes.
37. Um, you're looking elsewhere. I don't have to downgrade this week. I literally could just go. The one trade that I'm thinking of is Neil to Lockie Neal to Zach Butters. But if you had to downgrade to be able to afford something this week, and you're a bit scared that Jackson's going to be the sub or dropped, you're a little bit scared about, oh, close he's gone.
Wait,
Would
who?
you go early
Jackson?
on Hugh Jackson?
Yeah, no, I'm not touching him. No way.
Yeah.
No.
So what I'm
No.
saying is, I don't have to downgrade this week. I don't have to trade at all, unless I want to just do Zach Butters to in for Lockie Neal. But what I'm saying is, if it was you and you had
Mhm.
to downgrade to be able to do upgrades this week, would you go early on Tom McCarthy, playing the last game of the round, a chance of his sub debut?
And I can't get Johnson.
Yeah, if you've already gone early on Johnson, because a lot of people did.
I don't know if you're just trying to make up numbers, so to speak, then probably not. No.
Yeah, that's the
Like
thing. I'm really scared they're gonna either stunt his like scoring power. And the thing that pisses me off is he was the number one pick in the midseason draft a couple of months ago. Like he has been so good for the Richmond VFL. And he's not like these former number one draft picks in the midseason draft, like your Jai Culley's, like your Marriages, like your Geordie Paynes, where they're all 20 years or younger. He turns 25 next month. So it's not really a project player like your top two midseason draft players. That's what's annoying me so much, that there's a chance that he's going to be the sub debut, because at 25 next month, one of the best players in the state leagues, and played two good waffle games already, he should be straight in for a Tom Cole.
so you would assume say McCarthy is playing a full game, right? And we already know that Bo Allen's going to get a full game. Like,
Yep.
honestly, I know him and I have had our differences purely based on his performance because it was pathetic, but I reckon he will be okay getting a full game. Like, I reckon there is a world where next week, if you do 3 trades, you're bringing in a Bo Allen and a Tom McCarthy. Like, that is a large possibility. Like, the kid's good. He is good.
Yeah, I mean, you
But
don't get drafted at pick 13 if you're no good.
no, and like,
I think
don't
it
get
was
me
that pick.
wrong. Like, his performance to
Yeah.
score a -12, like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Purely absolute
Yeah.
rubbish.
As
Like
someone that
that's
follows a draft, though, like he is a good. He is going to be a
he is.
decent player, but I don't think he's going to be a good Supercoach player. He was pretty low possession numbers. Like he was just high impact, and it's same
Still,
as Finn O'Sullivan. Look how Finn O'Sullivan's gone. That's
oh,
why
he hasn't.
I agree with you that he could be a decent player, but I disagree with you that he could be a decent rookie that we're going to look to get in. And I might be
I
wrong,
reckon purely
but
because of his price. Like purely because of that
oh,
price.
I
Break
think
even of
even the
67.
price,
I reckon what
yeah.
his price is like, is it not 100 and something? Oh,
I'll
I
have
should
a
really.
quick look for you now, Bo Allen. His
It's
price at 117.
117.7. Yeah,
He's got 67 break even though, so like you don't
exactly.
have to go this
Exactly.
week.
No, no, no. I'm talking about next week because
But that game he debuted against Melbourne with that 36, he played a full game, didn't he?
I genuinely have no idea. No clue. Couldn't tell you.
I'm gonna quickly look that up, but from memory, I know he obviously got reported in his first game
Yeah.
and got suspended for a week. But from memory, I think that so his first game of his career, he scored 36 in a full game, didn't get subbed on or off.
Oh, that's
I agree that he's going to be a decent player. I just don't think he's going to be a good Supercoach rookie. Even with his DPP, even with his price, I just don't think he's going to make enough. And I'm so sick of these players that just don't make anything. Like I've had Kako, I've had Finn O'Sullivan, I've had Matt
yep.
Carroll. I'm sick of them. I don't want them anymore. I don't care if they're playing. I don't care if they're price. I want players that are actually going to do a decent effort. Like so, yeah. I'm not on him at all, unless he somehow pulls out a 70, 80 plus this week,
Are there
which I
any
don't think is going to happen.
defenders on the bench for Carlton here? Like, is there actually like, oh, Boyd's there?
No. Oh, Jordan Boyd, yeah. I think the writing was on the wall of Carroll that getting subbed off
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
at three-quarter time as well is pretty early. It's pretty early in the game. By the way, I was at that game, and by the second half, I was pretty shit-faced. But I was still coherent in the first half, and I was looking at the scores, and I saw Matt Carroll was on like 30 something near quarter time or near half time. I was like, oh, he's actually going well. How the
Dead.
hell did he end up on 29 subbed out? Like, he must have had a shocker of a
Oh,
quarter
it
or
was a
two.
disaster.
Yeah,
It's a
no
disaster.
good. But that's what he is. I mean, one of his first games were against West Coast, he scored a 60 something, which, like, unless you're in dire straits this round, I don't even think that would be in your best 18. So, obviously, you're holding with all the dead rookies that people have, but I'm not really holding my hopes up high that one, he's going to score well if he's picked, and two, if he's picked at all.
So, what is the West Coast bench? Assuming McCarthy and Bo Allen both get full games.
Oh, I'm going to rule out Bally Williams and Clay Hall straight away.
Yep.
I think Jack Hutchinson's been pretty good this year in terms of keeping his spot, and Noah Long, his last couple of weeks have been pretty decent. So I'm going to name them as my four that stay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then I think Archer Reid, as much games as he's played this year, I think he could miss. I think Brockman misses as well. So I'll change. Archer Reid makes it Jack Hutchinson or McCarthy's a sub. I think.
Stiff. Yeah,
Yeah.
stiff. I mean, I genuinely have no idea at all. Like, as far as I'm
Yeah.
looking at it, I think it'd be so rough if McCarthy is the sub. Like, that would be horrible.
Yeah, I hate sub debuts, and don't get me wrong, Essendon's done it so many times the last few years. And I just think it just ruins the moment. To be honest, I think
Absolutely. What's
I
the
know
point?
people argue like, would you rather this player play VFL for 10 more weeks or debut as a sub? And I think I'd rather them play VFL for 10 more weeks. I don't think sub debuts should be a thing at all. It's actually like it's funny. Do you remember Connor Downey from Hawthorn?
Yeah. Yep.
So he was a sub debut when you could only use your sub as an injury sub. So he played one game in his career as a sub debut. There was no injury. He never played and he got delisted. So he has one game to his name, but he never stepped foot on the field. And I know it's not
That's
like
not
that
a game.
anymore, but I don't think sub debut should be a thing.
No, I
So,
agree. I
yeah.
agree. Absolutely. Are we done with the lineups, my friend?
I think we are. Let's get into some questions. I'm sure there'll be plenty. And
Who's the subs for tonight? That's what I want to know.
should be out. If you go back up to the top and refresh, we might
Let's
get it.
have a little look. Subs, Carroll and Hines. Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
we weren't too
So,
far off.
the
Actually, no,
Dolan
we
gets a
were
full
wrong.
game. Have you been tracking him at all? What's his price? Obviously, I'm pretty
Dolan?
sure he will.
No,
Oh, 137K getting a full game, 65 break even, so you can wait a week. But
and it's
yeah, I
Bevo.
mean,
He's going to play Libba off a halfback flank. Like, no, thank you. No.
yeah,
All right, let's get into some questions. Let's get through it. We've
no
got, what's
workers.
that, 21 minutes left. Embit of Joel says, Sandy Brock ton watch. Oh my God, this bloke is just here for him. Geordie, gentlemen, I hope we are all doing well. And to you too, my friend. Hawksy, fellas, how are we? I'm good. How's yourself, Joshy?
Oh, I'm not too bad. we caught on tonight, which it was looking pretty dire at some
Oh,
point, but we won't go into that.
Jesus, what a debacle. Scobes, what happened to your hairline? It's still there, mate. It's still there. It's still there. I'll get a bit worried when it gets up to like about there, I reckon. But shout out to you, Gerbs. Good to see you here. Tristan Precht traded the pencil last week. Will probably be the sub. Anyways, named on field, so I don't like your chances with that, mate. Hawks, he's pretty happy that Ben Hobbs is omitted. Joshy, are you
Yeah,
happy?
I am. I am. I still think he has somewhat promise inside the midfield, but the problem is we have like 6 or 7 midfielders are ahead of him at the moment. But that role he was playing as a half forward, defensive forward, it just wasn't working. You're better off debuting an Archer May and getting a bit taller up there. So very happy he's out and that we're giving a tall forward a chance.
Wonderful. Jack Blutcher says, Husway back, is he? Yes, we've been over that one. Mickey, lads, would you rather Kirch and 180k or Naz and 60k? Kako and Clark on field left. Joshy,
I'd
where are you
rather
going?
Naz. I'd rather Naz. Like he's been awesome this year. He's averaging
Yeah,
106. Doesn't have the ceiling like most players, but he's been so consistent.
I agree. Brandon the Don Unuka wants to know draft who to captain: Ed Richards, Butters, Hewitt, Caleb Sarong. Joshy, you're the draft expert. Who are you going?
I'm gonna go Sarong against North Melbourne, just matchup based.
Oh, right. Okay, that's a bit yuck. I wouldn't have gone there, but fair enough.
It's more so like Butters could cop Bedford, Richards chance to cop Windhager tonight, and George Hewitt up against West. Oh, George Hewitt against West Coast. I completely forgot they play West Coast this week, so go there.
Yeah, Carlton's got the easiest fixture going around, mate.
Yeah,
58.
it's let's not get into them playing North Melbourne and West Coast twice this season in the space of 8 weeks. It's ridiculous.
Ryan says Butters, Kirch, and Johnson with 193k in the bank for final 2 upgrades, being JHF and McRae in forward line, or Butters, TDK, Johnson with 53k in the bank. Nah, first option.
Yeah, I'd go the first option as well.
Jimmy D says Kirch season, baby. Clarko said he can see Hardeman playing wing, and then Fisher/Bench plays that high half forward role. Absolutely, mate. I'm all aboard McKercher, honestly. Hawksy says, Lual didn't get dropped for the Dons either. Geez, we truly are playing the kids. You love to see it. Think Scotty might be pulling the pin on Hobbs. I mean,
Hang on.
yeah, spot on. Gerbs, Lindsay to Johnson, McAuliffe to Butters. If Butters goes big this weekend, I'll share the Johnny Blue label I got from a client with you, Nath. Well, thank you, mate. Thank you. Burner77. Hey, lads, trades are M. Hall, Carroll, and Gray for McKercher, Johnson, and McCarthy. Got 100 in the bank, ranked 500. You reckon a boost Roberts to Naz is too much? Was planning on holding. Nah, don't boost. Nah.
No, I wouldn't boost either.
Geordie wants to know who are the rookie targets this week, Joshy.
If you have Zach Johnson, he's a must-have. As an SN fan, I want him to play for the rest of the season. Like he's only 18, but he's a genuine stud. Some of the kicks he was hitting on the weekend was bloody impressive. So he's the must-have. But now one of the ones I was looking at was Closey. He's lost his spot. The other one was Jackson. He's on the extended bench. We've already named debutant. That's also on the extended bench confirmed. A few others that should hold their spot. So he's off the radar too. McCarthy could be sub. So I think it's Zach Johnson or nothing, to be honest, at this point.
Agreed. Jackie B says that beer didn't stand a stand, Joshy. Haha, grab another.
Oh, no, I usually bring 2 and they're both gone already. So, I need a piss as well. So if you let me go get another, I'd be happy to if you're happy to
drink responsibly. Actually, answer this question, then you can head off and come back.
No
Would
worries.
you trade Merritt or Neil?
I'd trade Neil.
Yep.
I think I really want Zach Butters. Like 563k for someone's average 121 is just unheard of. And mind you, that's got a 50 in there. He's averaging 120 with a 50 in there, and that's why he's at this price. So I'm going to get him. my avenue to him is either Zorko or Neil. It fixes up that round 16 bye, which is looking pretty dire for most coaches. There's a lot of relevant players in that bye, like your Max Holmes, your Stewarts, your Merritts, your Whitfields, Zorko, Neil. So I think I'm going to trade Neil, and the reason for that is you look at his fixture, and it's pretty grim. He's got Bedford this week. Then he's got Atkins or Mullen. Mullen's been tagging lately, but he got tagged by Atkins this year for a 71. Then you got Bergman, who started tagging really well. And then in mixed in between that Geelong and Port game, you got bye. So the next 3 weeks, you could see 3 tags and a bye in the next 4 weeks. And even against Carlton the week after, you
You
could
got
cop
Chincotta.
Chincotta. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not looking good. Over the next 5 weeks, it could be a bye and 4 tags.
Yeah,
So,
that's nah. I'm
and that's
not buying
also
that.
with James Jordan in Supercoach finals. So, yeah, I'm just, and mind you, James Jordan hasn't been that effective lately, but he also kept Lockie Neal to a 41 in opening round or early in the
Wasn't that
season with Leo
painful?
Cops. Yeah, not good at all. But I'm going
No.
to take a piss. I'm going to also get another beer, and I think you can handle it for 2 minutes or so.
Oh, thanks, mate. Appreciate that. Husk could go 200 this week and get dropped from Hawksy. Yeah, he's spot on. Shout out to Dalek. We are very well, mate. I hope you're well as well. Jimmy D says Adelaide have 8 defenders. Would think and hope Smith is sub. I agree, mate. Honestly, like, don't get me wrong. Pedler had more, like, double the amount of tackles than touches, but I think with that logic, we should be okay. Got 3 plans which to choose. Jesus Christ, Benji. Poo Poo, Lindsay, and Carroll to Zach Johnson, Kirch, Dewar. Need a rookie forward line. We'll get Jason or Francis around 16 to have 23. Mate, oh my goodness. Sending essays in. Number 2, Pooh, Lindsay, and Carroll to Tom McCarthy, Matt Kennedy, and Zach Johnson. 89K in the bank to get my dead rookies to a higher price for my 23rd. So, yeah, 7 trades left again. Pooh and Lindsay, no, that's not an option. Not Brent Daniels, no. You need to see something. I would be going. I'd be going option number 2. This one, mate. That's just me though. Yeah, that was a lot. Yeah. How many trades and promos does everyone have left? Let me check for you. I'll have 7 left after this round, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23. Actually, Jai Newcomb's not a premium, so I've only got 22. There you go. Dalek. Oh, he's back. Would you approve of my trade plans this week? Out Lindsay, Nevitt, Carroll. In Butters, Zach Johnson, McCarthy. Then next week, chop long for Mills and bank a bit of cash for the upgrade. Yes. Yes, I would. I absolutely would do that. Would you do this, Joshy?
I would as well, yeah. I think anyone that's getting Mills this week, I think going way too early with that buy. I think you can wait a week,
I agree.
obviously.
Oil AU says 3K off buying Butters and Colby, which hurts. Is it better to buy Butters and bank 200K, buy Colby and someone 3K less than Butters? Nah, I want Butters.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, I never sideways promos, and I'm thinking of getting rid of Lockie Neal as Orko to get Butters. I think he's someone you need for the wrong home.
Hawksy says James Leake emergency, please. Kingsley, let it happen. Won't happen, mate. Hawks, is it worth trading Roberts to Butters? I have 19 primos. I would probably do that.
Oh, yeah, I would as well. I think I would too.
Apparently Windhager is going to go to Bont early. I mean, good luck to him. Geordie wants to know how does Kako get games and Clay Hall is averaging 30 plus and 2 goals a game can't. Yeah.
The same reason Siders can't get games too one-dimensional. When you can only play inside mid, you struggle.
Yeah. Yep. Kepsy Max says, would you rather Naz or Butters this week? We'll get the other next week. You get Butters.
Yeah, you do.
Easy.
Naz, by the way, though, if you're upgrading this week, you've already got Butters, 507k for Wanganeen Malira. Oh, bargain.
Oh, I agree. Blackiston could be a good option in 3 weeks if we all didn't get about 3 trades left. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, here he is. Cheese says Scobes unfooted. It's about time you jumped in the chat, you absolute squirmy
no,
of
he's
an
been
individual.
missing our glorious king.
How is that walking meatball Sean Darcy still in? Oh, I don't know, mate, but you're probably the type to pick him up. Zach says, I've held Erasmus needing to go big for the coin. Yes. Best forward under 160k. Jesus.
Not many. It would have been closey for me, but
What do we got?
unfortunately, he didn't hold his spot.
Under 160k.
Going very quickly here. Forward 160k.
It's got to be Butler.
Yeah, but you got to go that 1 week early. I agree. It's Butler. Looking at the ones that are named, you got Jack Martin, who was shocking after his first 9 disposals, which he got in 5 minutes, and then he went missing.
Yeah.
Day Wicks is going to be sub. Ramsden is tall forward. You don't want to go anywhere near that. So it's either you go early on Butler, or you back in Josh Dolan at 137k with breaking him at 60 odd, but you know he's getting a full game.
Yeah, no, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Jerry putting a captain worthy score against Jackson and Darcy?
I think he can. I think not longer. I think it might have been Gorn played the double team and he still went okay. For someone like me though, I've got Sherry, but I really like Gorn against Port Adelaide into DeConning against West Coast. So if you got that 3-headed ruck combination, I reckon you can try and avoid Sherry this week.
I just read a comment that's coming up, and I reckon he's absolutely bang on. Like, this is 100% spot, like the Spotty Dog Mickey Mouse on the money. On the money. And it's not this comment. Hawksy says, Hanson Jr. getting a game still. No way Zach Bench doesn't come in for him sometime soon. Colby named half forward. Simkin named on the wing. Yeah, no way we're buying that. Absolutely not. Gerbs, you are spot on. Can we add Manny Liddy to the list of Joshy lookalikes? Yes, we can.
Oh my god!
Yes. Oh, that's filth.
There's about 100 of them, so here we go. I mean, for a little bit of a background, if this is the first time you've tuned in, it's quite the opposite scale. But to give you an example of all the people that Scobes has compared me to, think Ryan Marriage and Sam Powell Pepper and a few people in between. Anyone isn't off limits.
I'm telling you, this bloke looks like you. Have you seen him in the Port shirt? That is no you after a rough night. Oh, I've got the perfect picture. You know that picture I was going to make with my Twitter one? Oh, yeah, we're going, oh, my God, we're getting off track.
He's got parted hair. I would never have parted hair.
You've got the same facial features.
What a mo.
No, like the nose and stuff. We're getting off track here. Geordie says, how does Jordan Sweet affect Vicentini for ruck and points? Well, it depends if he's even named, mate.
Yeah, I don't think he will be either.
No. Green Eggs and Sam says, Naz and 150k with a possibility to do 23 or Brayshaw on a strong 22. Nah, do Naz.
Yeah, I agree.
Brayshaw or Jerry captain, mate?
Brayshaw against North Melbourne.
I agree. Connor says, hey, boys, current trades are Kaka, Stone and Moraes to McKercher, Jackson and Johnson. Thoughts on that compared to something involving moving Neil to Butters and a possible down to McKercher? If you can get Butters, I'll tell you my trades right now. Like, genuinely, if this changes your mind, then I mean, I'm happy for you. But my trades are exactly the second one. Like, out, Lockie Neal, Xavier Lindsay, and Moraes in Butters, Johnson, McKercher. That's how big on Kirch I am. So if that helps you out, Con, like, go for it, mate. go for it. Hawksy says Liddy will be on the bench, but your screen might be zoomed in too far. And it's we've been over that. Thank you. Awesome. I think out of these, if you're going to downgrade someone, surely it's Neil, isn't it?
I think so as well. Dawson's favorite for the Brownlow right now. He's been awesome. Brayshaw, you can't trade. Point, you can't trade. Like Tom Green's been awesome as well, and Shearer, he's got West Coast and North Melbourne next to him. I wouldn't go anywhere near trading him. So I think so. And Sarong, I know he hasn't hit the heights everyone expected. Same with Neil, but he's not. He doesn't have all his tag coming up like Neil does. It's looking pretty grim. And he's on his bye, so that's always a factor as well.
Joshy, we got literally 5 minutes because we've got to set our own teams up. I'm going to make sure that the VC is not gone. All right, Warner to Naz or TDK?
I'm going to go TDK.
Agreed. Hawksy says after the Boxall debacle, he's not taking chances on a rookie that's not on the bubble. Agreed. Zach reckons McWalter probably biggest Supercoach Gestapo this year. Hard to trust him, especially with obviously the Clay Hall debacles. Is there a world where you consider Dion Prestia?
No, you can't do it. He's too injury prone.
Yeah, I agree.
That sounded like you disagree. Is there a world where you would do Prestia if there was no McKercher this week?
God, no.
Okay, right. No. Just clarifying.
Cheese says a -12 is very impressive in a full game. Yes, impressively shocking. Carl, this man gets it. This one of my favourite listeners, and I just love this bloke. Scobes, Brad Scott has done consensus All-Australian, and Matty's short of the AFL. So dirty. Time for Sardis to take his talents to Vic Park and glow up Nettie Long style. B. Scott, un-Australian of the year. If we could frame comments, this is comment of the year right here. Thank you, you superstar, Carl. Quincy, should I trade in Zach Butters for El Pratic? What?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, I'm lost here. Nope, no idea. This was Cheese just backing you up. He said that he had 34 in the first half and finished on 36.
Ridiculous.
Jordy wants to know, how does Bo Allen get a full game? Yeah. No idea. Young plays down back. No, this was in reference to the Carroll talk. You're spot on, Zach. Barnaby, Duart is an option. Yes. And again, as I always say, I love your display picture. Absolutely.
This is actually worth touching on. Would you get Duart? 176K, I think it's too much for me, but mine's 37 break even. He's coming off a 90 on that half back roll. Like, would you get him if you weren't obviously going for the McKercher Butters type?
I probably would, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about it myself.
I'd prefer that than going early on someone that could be sub. Marriage back to kick-ins. I mean, he could be. Honestly, don't care. They ruined a perfectly good role, and I get to do a podcast with Ryan Marriage every single week, so it's wonderful. Tristan wants to know, trade out Zorko or Neil to help fund trades. I'm on Neil. Thinking Lashcroft, Lindsay, and either Neil, Zorko to Butters, McKercher, and Duo with 140K in the bank. Yes. No, I'm not even going to read out this alternative one because I reckon this is much better. Although, if you can work some DPP and get Johnson in there instead of Duo.
Yeah, no, Johnson's a must-have. I'd go the second one just purely for Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah. Don's had a sub debut too a few years ago where they didn't go on field. Alistair Lord was the game where we had late outs with illness against Hawthorn in 2022, I think.
Yeah, and he never entered the field just like Downey, and he got delisted. So he's got one AFL career game to his name. He didn't spend a single minute on the field. Pretty bad.
Just cause, hey lads, is it crazy to trade Whitfield to Kirch?
Do not trade Whitfield. He's bottomed out. He's got no value left to him. If you're going to do it, it's when he's at 590. And with Finn Callahan back, I think you're going to see Lockie Whitfield of old back this week.
Barnesy says he's going Jerry into Gorn, set and forget. Yeah, I like that. Jakey Wood says, hey, fellas, I got 10 trades left. If I use 3, do I trade Stone, Huswaite, and Marriage out to Butters, Daywicks, and Zach Johnson, or use 2 trades, Stone out and Marriage, and get Daywicks and Butters?
You can't trade Hosweight now. He's in.
Nah, do the
But you
second
also
option.
can't get Daywicks in. So if you can
Get
work
Johnson
something
instead.
out to get if you can do Stone and Marriage out and get Butters and someone else, I'd do it. But you can't get Daywicks.
Sony Abraham says, hey guys, Fonty McAuliffe, Lashcroft for Butters, Rankin, and Zach Johnson with 2 upgrades left and 8 trades. Yes.
Yeah, I like it.
Matty Sav, hey lads, appreciate the weekly help. Thinking between Carol, Neal, Lindsay to Butters or Naz McKercher Johnson. Difference is saving cash for 2 upgrades with 9 trades left. I'd go Naz McKercher Johnson.
Yeah, I'd do the same, I think, in that situation.
Cheese wants to know, did you wash your hands?
I sure did. But
Wonderful.
it does have the beer if you don't, so probably shouldn't have.
Scotty McKay says, hey boys, what are the chances Houston comes good at all this season? Next 3 games are very easy. Yes, he will. Yep.
As SuperCoach option, no, but look at him next year when he's bloody 470k.
Windy confirmed to start on Bont, still going to VC him. Yeah, I am. Yep. Bont VC into Jerry or Gorn. I'd be going Gorn.
Yeah, I'd go Gorn as well.
Jimmy Lewis says, Dacos, Lindsay, Long to Butters, Luke Jackson, Zach Johnson, 5-headed dragon if you include Phil Thorpe, Jackson, TDK, Jerry Gorn. I hate those trades.
I do too. As good as Luke Jackson's been, I still don't like him with Darcy in the team. And mind you, I'm going to have a very quick look at his price. But if I was to put this to you, even as a solo rock, I think 619k is way too much for Luke Jackson. That's so much to pay.
Yeah, I dislike those trades so much. No.
Yeah.
Dalek just reminds us that game starts in literally 8 minutes.
Let's quick fire for 3 minutes. 7:25, we're off.
Yep, done. All right, next week in Naz, would you go Clark and Carroll to do it 9 trades left or Carroll Hust, Hall 8 trades left? You can't trade Clark and you can't trade Hust. Like, you can't do it this week. No. ADSR, Butters or side trade a couple of poor premiums and get Butters and Bont some poor performing premiums like Warner, Rankin, Merritt, and Zorko. I'd be keen to trade Zorko, I think, out of them.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Derm saying go Bombers on SEN. SEN might be the peak of the season at Donsland. Yeah. Wonderful. VC Bont into Jerry or Jerry into Butters. Nah, go Bont into Jerry. Jacko says, hey guys, going Ned Long to Butters, guaranteed as that was always a plan, but do we think Kako to Dewar or Boxall to McCarthy both leave me the same cash in bank? No, go Boxall to McCarthy.
Yeah. Oh, no, just don't trade. Don't get McCarthy. He's the last game of the round. He could be sub. I just wait.
Hayden Hall says, boys, do I trade Merritt to Neal to Butters or leave Butters? I've already got 9 primo mids and we'll have 3 trades left at full primo if I do a sideways trade. Go Neal to Butters.
Yeah, I'm with you, Hayden. I honestly think I'm going to be trading Neal to Butters this week, which sounds crazy, but I'm going to do it.
No. And just a pat on the back from Geordie. Gents, fantastic as always. Have an amazing weekend and enjoy the AFL games. I will, mate, except there's no pies this week, which is terrible. Hawksy says, done pretty well, fellas. You've got a couple of minutes to spare now too. Yes, we do. Gerbs, thank you both, lads, for your work. Always appreciated. Oh, Jesus, he's got me there on the last comment of the stream. Well done, Gerbs. Props to you, mate. Joshy, who's your VCNC?
I'm going Maxi Gorn into TDK.
Wonderful. Where can the listeners find you?
Oh, here we go again. On X, JG 2321 to score, I think it is. But you can also see me on Race Trade Mondays, which is happening this week, Scoble.
Yes. We will be doing everything we can to make it happen. You can find me at Scobie __ on X. If we've missed any comments, which I highly doubt we have, please add us. Make sure you check out the boys' rookie data dump. They do some fantastic work over at the Third Man Up and their captaincy metrics as well. Look for the green. Go for them. If you need any help at all, just add us. You know where to find us. Check out the website. Make sure you buy some merch. And most of all, have a fantastic weekend. Hopefully your VC pops and your VC's bond like mine is. Enjoy. Joshy, thank you so much for being here. Enjoy, everyone. And we'll see you again for Rage Trade Mondays. Good night.